October 9th of the Gaza-Israel conflict. Juzzy here, and today is another update as I take a simplified and practical approach to some of the most important happenings on the ground in this region. So moving to the map in what is still a fog of war situation as it enters into its third day for this conflict. And there's been no shortage of events taking place. For instance, overnight, the Hamas militant group has continued to fire barrages of rockets from Gaza into Israel, including at the near-to-border Israeli settlement of Ashkelon. But even more concerning than that was that rocket fire was also aimed at Tel Aviv's international airport as well, with Israel's Iron Dome air defense system working to neutralize as many of these threats as possible. But it is still, in fact, hard to get a clear concept of what is happening on the ground right now in various regions. And what we've been continuing to see uploaded to social media from the ground was some of the Hamas original incursions into Israeli territory, which really seemed to put on display the full savagery, showing no value for human life. And even most recently, Hamas themselves claimed more than 130 Israelis as taken hostage, and many of them civilians. And of course, many more that are foreign nationals kidnapped at the music festival from Saturday's initial incursion. So footage from phones and even dashcams showed not just bullying by the Hamas forces, but showed instances of finishing off individuals at close range as well. And just as heart-wrenching was individuals seen being taken hostages too. And so far, it's been reported that the death toll in Israel is currently approximately 1,100 from the Hamas attacks, and around 2,000 have been injured, and another 750 currently missing. As a result, the Israeli Defense Forces, or the IDF, military actions have continued to operate overnight, with a major Israeli airstrike against Hamas a munitions depot, and also other key Hamas positions within the Gaza Strip itself. And in fact, there's already reports of the elite commando unit of the Israeli Navy conducting an operation which resulted in the capture of the deputy commander of the Southern Division of the Hamas naval force in the Gaza Strip. And then to add to all of this, in order for Israel to protect their security, convoys of armored vehicles have already moved to the south bordering with Gaza, but also in the north at the contentious border with Lebanon, which I'll zoom right up there for. And so we can also see Israeli tanks at the Lebanon border as well, due to concerns of Lebanese hostile actions taking place to support the Hamas militant group. Now, having said that, there are in fact United Nations peacekeeping forces in Lebanon, and they've been stationed in the country for many decades now, since the late 70s. And as you can see here, those UN peacekeeping forces were traveling south to the Lebanon border with Israel, and forced to in fact drive over Israeli and American flags on the ground. So as you can see, tensions are certainly high in the region, and have been for some time. Oh, then also we saw some low-flying Israeli Air Force F-16s that were spotted near to Gaza itself. But indeed, it's very hard to capture a very linear view of events right now, as there's a lot in motion. Again, the situation is still fluid, but we'll move on to the political level of these engagements, as the government of Israel supported the official introduction of martial law in the country, which was to be expected given that they are now directly at war. Then also, the USA is advancing naval ships and aircraft carriers near to Israel as a solidarity gesture. So the US Carney and the US Roosevelt are both Airlie Burke-class guided missile destroyers are now deployed closer to Israel amid the Hamas attacks. Oh, and then also the USS Gerald Ford carrier strike group is also directed to move to the Eastern Mediterranean, as stated by US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. But as for some further information for now, for instance, take a look at the wider map here and its proximity, this region's proximity to Europe. So we'll need to zoom right out for that one. For those of you that are less versed in the region, and as you can see, the Mediterranean Sea is to the west of Israel and Gaza. In fact, the region is technically line of sight for Greece and many parts of Greater Europe as well, albeit quite a far distance, at least 1,000 to 2,000 kilometers, I think that sort of thing. Now, the current outlook appears such that Israel will perform ground operations within the next 24 to 48 hours, at least on a larger scale, as it appears there's potentially already been some small counterattack incursions with elite units. But this is just a quick video update today, guys, as in many ways we do still wait for the dust to settle to see exactly what's what. So thanks for watching, guys. Please do subscribe for future updates, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one. Cheers.